Welcome to Binary Masterclass, where we show you how we made $2,018 or 41% in 30 minutes. So we're taking our first trade here, a put on Aussie CAD at a known resistance area, and it moves nicely off of the resistance into the profit for us. And it continues to move down into the money, giving us a nice first entry win for a profit of $128. Now we take a first entry call on pound CAD, where it rebounds off as a support, comes down to test that support, has us in and out of the money. We're going to get our second entry ready just in case, but we win that first entry for a profit of $89.79. Take a first entry call again on pound CAD as it moves down to the next level of support. And we're also looking around at other trade possibilities. This trade is breaking through the support area and will likely require a second entry, so we get that second lined up. And we actually take that on a different currency pair as a put. It continues to move against us through a resistance. We take an early third at a good 15-minute resistance area. We lose our second, but our first bounces off the resistance, moves nicely into the money, and gives us a nice third entry win and a profit of $498 on the trading cycle. We take a first entry put on USD CAD. It moves easily through the first resistance area, so we line up an early second. We take the early second at the next resistance. It's testing that resistance. We get our third ready just in case. Moves back down to our money. Moves farther up through that resistance. We take an early third entry on this trade as well. Finally, it's having trouble at the next resistance. Moves down into the money for us, giving us a third entry win and a profit of $465. Back on pound CAD, we take another first entry call. These ones are testing us a bit today. It moves cleanly through. We decide to take our second entry on Euro CAD, where we like the setup and the pricing a little bit better. We lose that first entry. Our second is testing us, but our strategy allows for that. So we line up a third. We take our third entry a little early as we saw the trade beginning to turn around at the support. It did rebound off of the support, move cleanly into the money for us, coming back down to test our entry line. But this trade is going to move nicely into the profit, giving us another win and a profit of $504. We take a first entry put now on CAD franc. And we line up a second, although it is moving now into the money for us, toying around our money line. It looks like we're going to need a second, so we take a second here right before our first expires. We do end up losing the first. The second is testing the next level of resistance. We line up our third just in case. And at the next resistance area, we take our third entry. The currency bounces off that area cleanly, actually into the money on our second, giving us a $229 profit. And then also our third entry, although it does test us a little bit, wins for an additional profit of $566 on that trade. We take another put at the next resistance on this currency. It's in and out of the money. Just watching it. Looks like we will need a second here. We do lose the first. We actually move the trade over to a different currency pair, which is setting up very nicely for us. So we've taken our second on pound CAD. It does come down to test a support, moves back up to our money, and is going to require a third entry for us. So we actually move the trade back to CAD franc, which is at a very nice 15-minute level. We take the trade at that level. It comes back up to retest. Fails in its effort to continue to go higher. Moves down nicely into the money, giving us a clean third entry win and a profit of $637. Over to Euro New Zealand dollar, where we take a first entry put. Get our second ready just in case. It is at a solid resistance level and does move through that resistance. So we take an early second. We do end up losing our first. Our second moves into the money, though, dancing around our profit line, and finishes with a second entry win and a profit of $279. We take a first entry put on CAD franc at a solid resistance area. It does move through, so at the next resistance, we enter an early second. This one got very extended very quickly, so it rebounds nicely off of that second level of resistance. We do lose our first. It's back challenging our money line on the second, but stays in the money to give us a win and a profit of $273. We take another put on CAD franc. This one teases us on the money line. Does look like it is wanting to break through that resistance area. We barely lose the first, waiting for the right entry on the second. We take their second at the resistance. It tries to push through, successfully makes it through that resistance area where we lose our second entry. We take our third because we can see this and some other confirming pairs beginning to reverse. We catch a good spot on the reversal. This trade moves into the money for us, comes back up to try to test our entry area. But we will win this third entry for a profit of $635. Take one more put on CAD franc. This time we catch a first entry cleanly. It bounces off the resistance, moves nicely into the money, down through the range, off of a support, coming back up to potentially test us. but we do win a first entry for a profit of $58.60, giving us a daily profit of $2,018, an increase of 41.1%. For more information, visit us at binarymasterclass.com or click the link in the description below.